Greetings and welcome back to another edition of How to Successfully Market Yourself. My name is Ken Wilkins. I am the instructor on this course. Today's topic of discussion is doing your homework. Now, I think about when I see successful people. Think about that for 1 minute. We see successful people, but what we never see when we see success, behind the scenes that they're doing some homework. Behind the scenes, they're spending some time developing their skill set, developing their strategies to overcome different challenges. We have to be willing, if we're going to be successful in marketing ourselves, obtaining new clients, building our business, we have to be willing to do some work in private, behind the scenes. You know, there's a story of a young man by the name of Mr. Yates, a true story. During the Great Depression, this young man lived in Texas. He had possessed a great wealth of land that he found himself coming into a situation where it was really difficult to maintain. He couldn't afford the payments on the land anymore. So what he decided to do was humble himself, and he was going to take himself to social services and ask for some assistance to help continue to pay for his property. That particular morning, Mr. Yates got up. As he proceeded out his door to go to the social service offices to fill out the information, a car pulled up with a man in a fancy suit. The man got out the car and he asked Mr. Yates a question. He said, "Sir, would you mind if I did some drilling on your property?" Mr. Yates looked at the man, bewildered, didn't understand what the man was talking about, but he said, "Yes, what do I have to lose?" Mr. Yates proceeded down to the social service office. He filled out the paperwork. A week later, this man came back. He bought all these trucks with these drills, and he began to do some drilling on Mr. Yates' property. The man began to drill 500 feet. Nothing. He began to drill some more, 1,000 feet. Still nothing. After about a week of drilling, they finally got to the place where they was at 1,500 feet. And all of a sudden you heard a big yell. A yell of excitement. Oil began to gush out of that drilling spot. Barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels of oil was yielded from this one particular place that they did some drilling. So you may be wondering and you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with marketing yourself? Well, let me turn the corner on the story. Mr. Yates was poor. Mr. Yates was lacking resources to provide for him to be successful. But the reality is that the resources already existed. They was already there on his property. But what happened was some men came on his property and they began to do some drilling. They did some work. They did some work. They did some sweating. They did some long hours. As they began to drill deeper and deeper and deeper, guess what they discovered? They discovered wealth. The wealth that you need to successfully market yourself is inside of you. It's inside of you, but you have to be willing to do the work. Doing your homework is the topic. You have to be willing to practice your skill. You have to be willing to practice interviewing. You have to be willing to go over answering those difficult questions. You constantly have to critique yourself so that when you get in public, you shine. So it all begins behind scenes. It all begins on the inside. What's on the inside is magnified on the outside. Once again, we're talking about doing your homework. This is very important. This is a key component to you successfully marketing yourself. So let's think about it for a minute. Let's ponder. Let's dig deep. Let's put on our thinking caps. Okay? You see, I got on a workout outfit today. Now you'd be wondering, what is that all about? I go to the gym and I do work. I lift weights. I exercise. I eat right. That's homework. Why do I do that? I spend time doing that so that I look good on the outside. But guess what? It starts on the inside. It starts on the inside. That's what we have to understand. You see people in the NBA, you see people like the Bill Gates, you see the big companies like the Amazon and the Googles and the Facebook. They're enormous companies, Fortune 500 companies that has taken the time to start small. They started small. They did their homework in the garages. They did their homework in their offices at home. They spent countless hours developing themselves, learning the market, learning the industry, learning their skill sets. And they begin to grow. They begin to grow. They begin to gain the information on the inside, and then they was able to take it on the outside and put it in application. So you have to do your homework. What we really need to get into our minds as we go over this course is very important. I really want you to listen to me here. There's no easy road to success. There's no shortcut. You know, we got a lot of different books talking about success today because everybody wants to find a solution. But there's no easy road to success. Whatever it is that you desire to achieve, hear me out now. You have to be willing to do your homework. You have to be willing to invest time. You have to be willing to be dedicated and disciplined to whatever endeavor you want to achieve. See, I'm here today to let you know that you can be successful. You can market yourself. But guess what? It starts on the inside. In closing, I want to say this. The race does not go to the swift, but to those who keep on running.